In a life full of challenges and complex temptations, how do we recognize jealous and deceitful people? Have you ever wondered if the smiles and sweet compliments you receive are genuine? Imagine yourself standing amidst a crowd celebrating your major success, only to notice someone among them clapping and cheering with a fake smile, secretly harboring jealousy? How can we identify such subtle behaviors? Today, we will explore 10 ways to recognize jealousy and deceit in life, based on the enduring philosophies of Stoicism. This lesson will not only help you identify these behaviors, but also protect you from toxic relationships. 1. Observing actions. Words can be manipulated, but actions cannot. In daily life, we often judge people by what they say. However, words can easily be manipulated, embellished, or used to conceal true intentions. On the other hand, actions, especially in unguarded moments, are the most honest reflection of a person's character and values. From the perspectives of Buddhism and psychology, observing actions not only helps us discern sincerity, but also serves as a lesson in karma and inner growth. Buddha once taught, actions are the light that illuminates the mind, and through them, a person's true nature will be revealed. In Buddhism, every action has consequences, not just in this life, but also impacting karmic outcomes in the future. This underscores that actions, more than words, reveal the authentic nature of a person. Psychology suggests that people often hide their true intentions with words, especially in situations where they stand to lose something. Actions, however, are guided by the subconscious and are harder to alter quickly, making them a more accurate reflection of inner emotions and values. Why observe action? 1. Words can be deceptive, but actions cannot. People with ill intentions often use words to craft a positive image. However, their actions, especially when they think no one is watching, will expose their true thought. 2. Actions reflect true value. Someone might claim to value honesty, but if they consistently cheat or deceive in small situations, it shows their words don't align with their true values. 3. Actions demonstrate consistency. Psychology teaches that repeated actions form habits, which reveal the true nature of a person. Observing actions over time helps us determine who is truly trustworthy. Story of Min and Hoang. Min was the team leader of a significant project at his company. One of his team members, Hong, always appeared cooperative during group discussion. However, Min noticed that Hoang frequently delayed completing his assigned tasks, causing project delays. Moreover, Hoang tried to shift the blame onto Min, claiming he lacked leadership skills. Min didn't react hastily. Instead, he focused on observing Hoang's actions in various situations and documenting them. Once he had enough evidence, Min calmly presented the issue to his superiors and his team. As a result, Hoang's lack of responsibility was exposed, and Min successfully defended his reputation. Additionally, this incident taught the team valuable lessons about transparency and honesty in their work. The story of Ms. Han. Ms. Han, a soft skills teacher, often claimed that she was always ready to support her students in any situation. However, in certain challenging moments when students sought her advice, she avoided them and declined with the excuse of being busy. This behavior left many students feeling disappointed, and over time, their trust in her diminished. This illustrates that, regardless of how kind words may seem, without corresponding actions, they hold no real value. How to effectively observe action? 1. Observe across multiple situations. Don't judge a person based on just a few encounters. Observe how they behave in various contexts, especially when they are unaware of being watched. 2. Focus on consistency. A sincere person will maintain consistency in their actions, regardless of the people or circumstances. In contrast, insincere individuals often exhibit inconsistent behavior, changing according to their personal benefit. 3. Ask questions. Reflect, do this person's words and actions align? Do they do what they say they will? These questions will help you better understand their true nature. 4. Listen to your inner voice. Your intuition is often a powerful tool in assessing others' actions. If something feels off, trust that feeling and observe more closely. 5. Avoid hasty judgment. Take note of actions without drawing immediate conclusions. This helps you avoid being influenced by emotions and allows for more accurate assessment. Buddhism teaches that every action, big or small, creates karma, the results we will face in the future. The Buddha emphasized that a person's actions are a direct reflection of their mind. People who act insincerely often harbor jealousy, greed, or anger, which not only harms others but also negatively impacts themselves. A famous story from Buddhist scriptures tells of a man who frequently promised to help others but never followed through. The Buddha explained that this man not only lost the trust of his community, but also accumulated negative karma, hindering his spiritual progress. The lesson here is that if words do not align with actions, we not only hurt others but also diminish our own worth. The impact of action observation. For yourself. 1. Identify toxic relationships. Observing actions helps you recognize insincere individuals, allowing you to avoid harmful relationships. 2. Enhance judgment skill. By focusing on actions rather than words, you develop the ability to discern sincerity and trustworthiness in others. 3. Learn from positive action. By observing sincere people, you can learn how to build relationships based on trust and honesty. 4. Relationship. 1. Build trust. When you evaluate others through their actions, you establish sustainable relationships founded on deep understanding. 2. Reduce conflict. Early identification of insincere behaviors helps you avoid unnecessary conflict. Observing actions is not just a skill, but an art that allows us to understand people more clearly. From the perspectives of Buddhism and psychology, actions are the most truthful language, incapable of being hidden behind flowery words. Skillfully observing and evaluating others' actions not only protects you from deceit, but also encourages you to live more sincerely and honestly. Always remember, as the Buddha taught, actions are the mirror of the mind. By observing actions, you will understand the true nature of a person. Living sincerely and consistently not only enhances your own value, but also radiates positive energy, fostering a community that is honest and trustworthy. 2. Assessing reactions to your success. Your success is not only a personal milestone, but also a test of the character of those around you. In Buddhist philosophy, success is not merely a temporary outcome, but a reflection of the virtue and qualities of those who witness it. Genuine people celebrate with heartfelt joy, seeing your success as a source of motivation and pride. Meanwhile, envious individuals may try to diminish its value, using phrases like, "It's nothing special," or "It's just okay." Success not only marks an achievement, but also serves as a mirror reflecting the true emotions of those around you. In Buddhist philosophy, success is considered a test of one's cultivation of the mind, especially in how we deal with envy. Sincere people, upon witnessing your success, will react with genuine appreciation and encouragement. Their congratulations are voluntary and free of pretense. They are happy for you because their hearts are free from competition or comparison. Conversely, envious people often cannot hide their true feelings. They may use seemingly complimentary words to downplay your achievement. For example, they might say, "Oh, you probably just got lucky," or "This isn't that impressive, I've seen others do better." Subtle signs of envy. 1. Body language. An envious person may appear uncomfortable when hearing about your success. They may avoid eye contact, speak awkwardly, or deliberately change the topic to steer attention away from you. 2. Indifferent attitude. When you share the struggles you overcame to achieve success, they might listen superficially or seem uninterested. 3. Attempts to overshadow. In some cases, an envious person might immediately talk about their own accomplishments after you share yours, as if to shift the spotlight onto themselves. Mr. Ha, after winning the Employee of the Year award, faced mixed reactions from his colleagues. While some sincerely congratulated him and even sought advice from him, Ms. Than resorted to sarcastic comments. During a team meeting, when the manager mentioned Ha's achievement as an example of hard work, Than interjected, "He was probably just lucky. Not everyone gets such opportunities." At first, Ha felt a bit upset but decided not to let those remarks diminish his joy. Instead of reacting negatively, he continued working diligently and supporting his colleagues. Over time, his humility and relentless effort earned him genuine respect from his peers, while Thon eventually realized that envy did not improve her own standing. Lessons from Ha's story. Success is not just a personal accomplishment, but an opportunity to practice patience and compassion. When faced with envy, rather than responding with anger, use your actions to demonstrate your value. Buddhism teaches that envy stems from a lack of understanding of true happiness. By maintaining humility and continuing positive actions, you not only safeguard your worth, but also inspire those around you. 3. How to treat the vulnerable. In psychology, the way we treat the vulnerable not only reflects a person's kindness, but also reveals deep moral values. It is often believed that how one behaves toward those who cannot offer direct benefits speaks volumes about their true character. Similarly, Buddhism emphasizes that compassion is not something to display or use as a tool to gain admiration. True compassion must stem from a sincere heart, unbounded by social status, wealth, or personal gain. Treating the vulnerable is not merely a matter of courtesy, but a reflection of self-awareness. A person who looks down on the vulnerable often carries a sense of arrogance or an unconscious need to assert power. From a psychological perspective, this behavior reflects inner insecurities or a lack of self-confidence. Belittling others can be a temporary way to fill an internal void. In Buddhist philosophy, the attitude of disregarding the vulnerable is seen as an expression of greed, desire, and pride arrogance. This not only creates suffering for those treated unfairly, but also binds the perpetrator in a cycle of unease and misery. Imagine a corporate manager, Mr. Hung, who is always courteous and amiable toward his superiors, but often yells at and criticizes lower-level employees. During a meeting, when asked about his relationships with colleagues, he proudly claims to support and foster a positive work environment. However, outside the meeting room, Hung frequently belittles the cleaning staff and never acknowledges their greetings. Such behaviors not only create a negative work atmosphere, but also damage Hung's reputation. Over time, people around him notice the inconsistency in his actions and attitude, causing trust in him to diminish. There is a well-known Buddhist story about the Buddha and a gardener. When the Buddha and his disciples visited a garden to meditate, the gardener angrily shouted at them, fearing they would damage the plants. While the disciples felt offended, the Buddha smiled gently and calmly spoke to the gardener. His composure and compassion transformed the gardener's attitude, eventually making him a companion on the path to enlightenment. This story teaches that even when facing unfair treatment, a compassionate and respectful attitude can transform situations and foster mutual understanding. Lessons on treating the vulnerable. 1. Sincerity knows no rank. The measure of morality lies not in how you treat those in power, but in how you treat those who cannot directly benefit you. 2. Cultivating compassion. Kindness toward the vulnerable not only improves social relationships, but also strengthens your compassion and understanding, bringing inner peace. 3. Reflecting on your behavior. Ask yourself, am I treating people differently based on their social status? If the answer is yes, it is an opportunity for you to adjust and become more equitable. 4. Planting positive seed. In Buddhism, every act of kindness is a way to plant seeds of positive karma for the future. How you treat the vulnerable today will create positive outcomes not only for them, but also for yourself. Treating the vulnerable is not just a social behavior, but also a profound lesson in ethics and personal growth. To truly live a meaningful life, learn to treat everyone with kindness and respect, regardless of their wealth or status. Both Buddhist philosophy and psychology emphasize that it is through these small, compassionate actions that we can create a meaningful life and bring harmony to society. 4. Distinguishing between genuine compliments and flattery. In both Buddhist philosophy and psychology, there is a vast difference between genuine compliments and flattery. A genuine compliment arises from the heart with no expectation of return. In contrast, flattery often carries negative intentions, especially when it is used to manipulate or exploit others. Genuine compliments strengthen relationships. Receiving genuine compliments makes us feel respected and deeply connected to the person offering them. Encourage personal growth. Thoughtful compliments help the recipient recognize their worth and motivate them to strive for improvement. Spread positive energy. Sincere praise can create a positive environment, fostering strong and supportive communities. Flattery erodes trust. Once flattery is recognized, it can significantly damage the relationship between both parties. Creates conflict. Flattery often leads to unrealistic expectations, which, when unmet, can result in tension and disputes. Fosters toxic environments. Widespread flattery can make workplaces or social settings overly competitive and unhealthy. In many environments, flattery is used as a psychological manipulation tool. For instance, a colleague might flatter you during a meeting to gain your support for a project, but later avoid helping you when you need assistance. In Buddhism, genuine compliments bring joy and strengthen relationships, whereas flattery is a root cause of distrust and conflict. How to distinguish genuine compliments from flattery? Observe body language. Genuine compliments are usually accompanied by calm and natural gestures. The speaker does not try to impress, but simply expresses their honest feeling. In contrast, flatterers often exaggerate, and their tone or gestures may not align with their word. Examine motive. Genuine compliments are free of ulterior motives. If you sense that a compliment comes with implicit demands or expectations, it may be a sign of flattery. Monitor actions after the compliment. A person who genuinely compliments you will continue to support or maintain a positive relationship, while flatterers tend to disappear after achieving their goal. Ask yourself, does this person often praise others excessively? If the answer is yes, it is likely a habit of flattery aimed at manipulation. In daily life, we often receive kind words from those around us. However, not all of these words stem from sincerity. Some compliments are constructive and help us grow, while others are flattery with hidden motive. Distinguishing between the two not only helps us evaluate relationships more accurately, but also prevents us from falling into the traps of manipulative individuals. Psychological perspective. Flattery is a form of social manipulation. Flatterers aim to gain trust or attention from their targets, but their true goal is self-serving. Genuine compliments, on the other hand, require no reciprocation and are simply acknowledgments of another's value. In Buddhism, genuine compliments are considered virtuous actions, reflecting compassion and appreciation for the positive qualities of others. Flattery, however, is viewed as a form of deceit or greed, as it carries falsehoods and desires to obtain something undeserved. The Buddha taught that words must align with truth and benefit the listener, as falsehoods can harm both the speaker and the recipient. Buddhism encourages us to use words as tools to build and spread goodness. Falsehoods, including flattery, generate bad karma. In contrast, genuine compliments not only bring merit to the speaker but also motivate and uplift the recipient. The Buddha once said, "Words are like flowers. Let them bring fragrance to the lives of others." Flattery, though seemingly beautiful, is like an artificial flower. It lacks true essence and fragrance. Guidelines for avoiding flattery and practicing sincerity. Be truthful. Ensure that every compliment you give comes from a place of sincerity, not personal gain. Learn to differentiate. Recognizing flattery helps you avoid manipulation and safeguard your integrity. Encourage honesty. In everyday interactions, promote genuine communication and steer clear of falsehood. The importance of distinguishing between compliments and flattery. This is not just a vital social skill, but also a profound ethical lesson. By recognizing and using words with sincerity, we can build lasting relationships and foster a more positive environment in our personal and professional lives. Remember, the true value of words lies not in their embellishment, but in the sincerity and meaning they carry. 5. Monitoring consistency, unified behavior demonstrates integrity. In both Buddhism and psychology, consistency in behavior is a vital criterion for assessing a person's honesty and character. Consistency is not merely about aligning words with actions, but also about maintaining harmony between one's inner values and outward expression. When someone acts consistently, they not only demonstrate reliability, but also radiate positive energy and build trust with those around them. Consistency is the cornerstone of trust in relationships. When a person's words and actions align, they convey the message that they are trustworthy and principled. In Buddhism, consistency is linked to the principles of right speech and right action in the Noble Eightfold Path, encouraging people to live truthfully and harmoniously in both word and deed. In psychology, inconsistency often leads to cognitive dissonance, a psychological state of tension when thoughts, words, and actions do not align. This affects not only the individual, but also erodes trust among those around them. How to identify consistency? 1. Observe alignment between words and action. An honest person does what they say and says what they do. Conversely, a dishonest person tends to adjust their actions to suit the situation, often neglecting core values or principles. 2. Monitor behavior in various contexts. A consistent person maintains their values and behavior regardless of the circumstances. They treat everyone fairly without favoritism for personal gain. 3. Evaluate reactions to challenges. True consistency is revealed when a person faces pressure or adversity. Honest individuals uphold their principles even in unfavorable situations. An Hung is a renowned manager in his company, known for his integrity and consistency. He treats everyone fairly, from entry-level workers to senior executives. During a meeting, he promised to protect his team's interests if their project faced risks. When challenges arose, he upheld his promise, taking responsibility and resolving the issues without blaming anyone. His consistent actions earned him the respect of his colleagues and fostered a positive work environment where everyone felt supported and secure. In contrast, Chelan, another colleague, often appeared friendly with senior management but frequently ignored input from junior team members. Although she spoke about supporting teamwork, her actions revealed a focus on tasks that benefited her personally. Over time, her inconsistency caused her team to lose trust in her, leading to isolation in collaborative projects. In Buddhism, consistency is deeply connected to mindfulness and compassion. The Buddha taught that actions should stem from a clear and unclouded mind, free from greed, anger, or delusion. A consistent person lives in accordance with their values, ensuring harmony between their words, thoughts, and action. One story from Buddhist scriptures tells of a monk who lived in full accordance with the Buddha's teaching. Tasked with helping the poor, the monk not only offered comforting words but also took concrete actions to improve their lives. His alignment of speech and action inspired many and strengthened their faith in the Dharma. Psychological benefits of consistency. From a psychological perspective, consistency reduces mental stress and enhances self-confidence. A consistent individual does not worry about hiding or justifying their actions, leading to a sense of freedom and ease in life. Conversely, inconsistency often results in insecurity and self-doubt. For example, if someone claims to value health but frequently skips exercise, they may experience inner conflict, negatively impacting their performance and happiness. How to practice consistency? 1. Identify core values. Spend time reflecting on the values and principles you want to uphold in life. This clarity will guide your behavior in all situations. 2. Align actions with words. If you make a promise, strive to fulfill it. Avoid saying things you do not genuinely intend to act upon. 3. Self-assessment. Regularly evaluate whether your behavior aligns with your values and principles. If inconsistencies arise, take steps to adjust. 4. Learn to say no. Do not agree to things that conflict with your principles simply to please others. Saying no at the right time demonstrates honesty and self-respect. 5. Face challenges with integrity. Do not let pressure or personal gain cause you to abandon your values. Remember, consistency shines brightest when tested by adversity. Consistency, a personal and social value. Consistency is not only a personal trait, but also a crucial social value. Living consistently builds trust with others and creates a positive image of oneself. In Buddhism, consistency fosters inner peace and serves as a foundation for healthy and enduring relationships. Final reflection. Honesty and consistency are not always easy, but they are essential for achieving happiness and success in life. As the Buddha taught, right action is the result of a clear mind and truthful speech. Living with consistency allows you to cultivate trust, inspire others, and experience harmony within yourself and your community. 6. Reaction to criticism. Insincere people often react negatively. In both Buddhism and psychology, how people react to criticism reflects their inner self, character, and sincerity. A sincere person views criticism as an opportunity to learn and grow, while an insincere person often feels threatened and reacts negatively. Such reactions not only affect interpersonal and community relationships, but also shape how one progresses in life. The nature of criticism. Criticism is an inevitable part of life, whether in work, family, or social relationships. Constructive or negative, criticism offers us a chance to reflect on ourselves. Buddhism emphasizes that a mindful mind accepts criticism with composure, avoiding the dominance of ego. However, insincere individuals tend to react negatively because they perceive criticism as a threat to their ego or authority. This response often stems from a defensive mindset, fear of losing credibility, or fear of exposing weaknesses they try to conceal. Psychological reasons for negative reactions to criticism. 1. Injured ego. People with a big ego often perceive criticism as a personal attack. They fail to separate the criticized action from their self-worth, leading to hurt feelings and negative reactions. 2. Lack of confidence. Individuals lacking self-confidence may struggle to accept criticism, fearing it confirms weaknesses they already suspect about themselves. 3. Poor emotional regulation. Negative reactions to criticism can signify an inability to control emotions. Instead of processing criticism calmly, they let negative emotions take over. Signs of insincerity when facing criticism. 1. Defensiveness. Insincere individuals often immediately defend themselves by denying, making excuses, or even attacking the critic. This shows a lack of acceptance and unwillingness to change. 2. Retaliation. Some people respond negatively by retaliating or trying to hurt the critic. Instead of focusing on the issue, they personalize the conflict. 3. Avoidance. Insincere individuals may attempt to avoid criticism by changing the subject, ignoring feedback, or withdrawing from the situation. In Buddhism, accepting criticism is considered a test of humility and mindfulness. The Buddha once said, "The wise see criticism as a mirror that illuminates their path, helping them see themselves clearly." A famous story in Buddhist scriptures tells of a monk who was criticized for not following the monastery's rules. Instead of becoming angry or defensive, the monk thanked the critic and immediately corrected his behavior. His humility and acceptance not only improved himself, but also set an example for others. How to react positively to criticism. 1. Listen without interrupting. Focus on understanding the other person's perspective without reacting immediately. This helps you grasp the issue and gives the other person a sense of respect. 2. Separate criticism from personal worth. Remember, criticism usually targets actions or outcomes, not your intrinsic value. Avoid letting ego dominate. 3. Express gratitude. Even if you disagree with the criticism, show appreciation for the time and effort the other person put into giving feedback. 4. Analyze and adjust. After listening, evaluate whether the criticism is valid. If it is, take action to improve. If not, calmly and politely explain your perspective. 5. Learn to control emotion. Instead of letting negative emotions take over, take deep breaths and stay composed. This helps you respond wisely and positively. Impacts of reactions to criticism. Positive impact. Build relationships based on respect and trust. Foster personal and professional growth. Create a positive environment that encourages the exchange of ideas. Negative impact. Lose trust and respect from others. Hinder progress and learning. Cause conflicts and tension in relationship. Mastering the art of criticism. Respond. Reacting to criticism is an art that not everyone easily masters. However, it is a critical factor in evaluating sincerity and personal growth potential. As the Buddha taught, words may be harsh, but if they bring benefit, they are worth accepting over sweet but meaningless words. Learning to accept criticism with composure and humility helps you grow while building trust and respect from those around you. In life, no one is perfect, but how you respond to feedback will determine how far you go. 7. Unintentional comparisons, subtle comparisons that reveal jealousy. In both Buddhism and psychology, the act of comparison is a common expression of human psychology. However, when comparisons are made unintentionally and carry negative undertones, they may signify latent jealousy. Such comparisons not only damage relationships but also reflect an unstable psychological state in the person making them. To identify and address these unintentional comparisons, we need to delve deeper into psychology and Buddhist philosophy. The nature of comparison and jealousy. Psychology suggests that people often compare themselves to others to evaluate their self-worth or measure progress. This is a normal mechanism that helps us find motivation to improve. However, when comparison is accompanied by jealousy, it becomes a manifestation of inner dissatisfaction. Those who make unintentional comparisons often fail to recognize that they are reflecting their own insecurity or discontent. Instead of celebrating others' achievements, they use comparisons to diminish the value of someone else's success or quality. For example, when you achieve a significant milestone, they might say, "That's good, but others have done better." Buddhism views jealousy as one of the negative mental states that cause suffering for both the jealous person and their target. Jealousy stems from craving, tanha, and aversion. Dosa 2 of the 3 poisons: craving, aversion, and delusion that Buddhism encourages people to overcome. Unintentional comparisons are often demeaning, unfair, and lack compassion. Rather than accepting and learning from others' successes, jealousy drives us to justify or overshadow their achievement. As the Buddha taught, the wise do not compare, do not compete, but always seek self-improvement. Signs of unintentional comparisons. 1. Highlighting shortcoming. Unintentional comparisons often focus on pointing out what you didn't do well, rather than acknowledging your achievements. For example, you did well, but it could have been better if you added this. 2. Bringing in other names. They frequently reference others to create contrasts, such as, "You achieved this, but I've seen someone else do even better." 3. Lack of sincerity. Such comparisons are usually not meant to encourage but to conceal jealousy or the speaker's insecurity. Effects of unintentional comparison. For the recipient. 1. Emotional. These comparisons can undermine confidence and make the recipient feel inadequate. 2. Increased anxiety. The person being compared may feel pressured to prove their worth, leading to stress and worry. 3. Damaged relationship. Unintentional comparisons can disrupt harmony in relationships, especially when the recipient feels disrespected. For the speaker. 1. Reinforcement of negative emotion. People who frequently make comparisons tend to fall into a negative cycle, nurturing jealousy and dissatisfaction within themselves. 2. Loss of trust. Once others recognize the intent behind such comparisons, they may lose trust in and distance themselves from the speaker. How to handle unintentional comparison. 1. Stay calm. Don't let these comparisons shake your confidence. Remember, your value is not determined by someone else's opinion. 2. Identify the intent. Analyze whether the comparison comes from goodwill. If not, learn to dismiss it and prevent it from affecting you. 3. Respond tactfully. If necessary, respond with a positive comment, such as, "Thank you for your feedback, I'll consider it." 4. Focus on yourself. Instead of being drawn into the comparison, concentrate on your goals and values. As Buddhism teaches, happiness does not come from outdoing others, but from surpassing oneself. Buddhist practices for overcoming jealousy and avoiding comparison. 1. Compassion Karuna. Instead of comparing, learn to celebrate others' successes. Compassion not only brings happiness to others, but also frees us from negativity. 2. Mindfulness Sati. Be aware of your thoughts and words. Before speaking, ask yourself, will this bring benefit or harm? 3. Focus on personal growth. The Buddha teaches us to compare ourselves with who we were yesterday, rather than with others. This approach helps us progress without being driven by jealousy. Building healthier relationships. Unintentional comparisons reveal jealousy and can hurt both the speaker and the listener. To cultivate healthy relationships and achieve true happiness, we need to steer clear of negative comparisons and instead practice compassion, mindfulness, and focus on self-improvement. As the Buddha once said, the wise do not seek their worth through the eyes of others, but through their own progress. Be true to yourself and do not let unintentional comparisons overshadow your true value. 8. Reactions to failure. Genuine people learn from failure. In life, failure is inevitable, but how we respond to it determines our growth and future success. From the perspectives of Buddhism and psychology, a person's reaction to failure not only reflects their character, but also reveals their sincerity and self-awareness. Genuine individuals face failure with composure and use it as a stepping stone for personal development, finding positive lessons within the experience. Psychologically, failure is often seen as a shock to the ego. When faced with failure, the human brain typically triggers one of two main responses: avoidance or confrontation. Avoidance. People who avoid failure often blame circumstances, others, or uncontrollable factors. This is a psychological defense mechanism to protect their ego from damage. Confrontation. Conversely, those who confront failure use it as a learning opportunity. They ask themselves, where did I go wrong? What can I do better next time? This response reflects high self-awareness and accountability. The way we respond depends significantly on our level of self-awareness and ability to take responsibility for our actions. Buddhism views failure as a natural part of life and encourages us to embrace it with equanimity. The Buddha taught, there is no path to success without obstacles. Failure is not the end, but a stepping stone toward enlightenment. In the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha emphasizes that suffering is an unavoidable aspect of life, dukkha. Failure is a form of suffering, and accepting it is the first step toward liberation. Genuine individuals do not avoid failure. Instead, they use it to understand themselves better, eliminate obstacles, and move forward on the right path. Distinguishing genuine from insincere responses to failure. 1. Genuine individuals. O. Accept responsibility for their failures. O. View failure as an opportunity to learn and improve. O. Maintain a calm attitude and do not let failure demoralize them. O. Are open to feedback, even when it is difficult to hear. 2. Insincere individuals. O. Blame others or external circumstances for their failures. O. Make excuses for their mistakes instead of confronting them. O. Feel hurt or ashamed by failure, avoiding challenges in the future. Min, a young project manager, made a poor decision due to inexperience, causing his company to lose a major client. Instead of owning up to his mistake, Min blamed his team, claiming they failed to follow his instructions. This behavior eroded his team's trust and led to further difficulties in future projects due to a lack of collaboration. In contrast, Hoa, another leader, faced a similar failure when a product under her management failed to meet sales targets. Instead of avoiding responsibility, she organized a meeting to analyze the causes with her team. She took accountability for her part and welcomed constructive feedback. Her sincere and open attitude not only restored her team's trust, but also led to improved strategies and success in subsequent projects. Benefits of learning from failure. 1. Improved skills and knowledge. Failure reveals gaps in skills or knowledge, allowing us to address and strengthen them. 2. Increased resilience. Each time we overcome failure, we grow stronger mentally and emotionally. 3. Enhanced trust. A sincere attitude toward failure not only helps us grow, but also builds trust with others. 4. Discovery of new paths. Sometimes, failure redirects us toward a better approach or opportunity. How to learn from failure. 1. Accept reality. Acknowledge the failure without attempting to hide or justify. 2. Analyze the cause. Ask yourself, what went wrong? Were there factors beyond my control? 3. Seek feedback. Don't hesitate to ask for input from others, especially those with more experience. 4. Set improvement goals. Use the lessons learned to set specific goals and avoid repeating mistakes. 5. Stay resilient. Remember that failure is temporary, and each recovery brings you closer to success. Buddhism teaches that failure is an opportunity to train the mind and develop wisdom. When facing failure, instead of succumbing to anger or sadness, practice meditation to achieve calmness and clarity. Meditation helps us view failure objectively without the ego clouding our judgment. A well-known Buddhist story is that of the Buddha himself when he was Prince Siddhartha. Rather than giving up, he learned from each failure, experimented with new methods, and ultimately achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. Key takeaways. 1. Failure is a teacher. Use failure as a tool for self-improvement and growth. 2. Responsibility builds trust. Accepting responsibility for failure fosters trust and respect from others. 3. Resilience is essential. Cultivate the mental and emotional strength to rise after every fall. 4. Stay true to your value. Let failure guide you toward better decisions and a deeper understanding of yourself. Wisdom from the Buddha. Failure is just a lesson. Learn from it and continue your journey with a calm heart. Remember, success does not come from avoiding failure, but from learning and moving forward after every setback. Live sincerely, stay honest with yourself, and embrace failure as a companion on the journey of growth and enlightenment. 9. How to share personal information. Authenticity lies in sharing both strengths and weaknesses. In everyday life, sharing personal information is not just a way to connect with others, but also a reflection of sincerity, honesty, and depth in relationship. From the perspectives of Buddhism and psychology, how a person shares their story, both the good and the bad, reveals their character, self-awareness, and inner maturity. Sharing personal information plays a vital role in building relationships. When we open up to others, we create a space for understanding and empathy. However, the manner in which this information is presented is crucial. Authentic individuals are not afraid to share their successes alongside their failures, weaknesses, and the lessons learned from their experiences. Psychology highlights that sharing both positive and negative aspects fosters trust and deeper connection. Conversely, those who emphasize only achievements while avoiding imperfections may exhibit insincerity or an unresolved ego. In Buddhism, sincerity and honesty are regarded as core elements of an enlightened mind. The Buddha taught, truthfulness is a guiding light that leads us through the darkest paths. When sharing personal information, sincere individuals do not embellish or hide the truth. They understand that every aspect of life, both good and bad, is an integral part of personal growth. By acknowledging their flaws, they demonstrate humility and a commitment to self-improvement, fostering genuine connections with others. Sincere versus insincere sharing of personal information. Sincere individual. 1. Balance between good and bad. They openly share both successes and failures, recognizing that imperfection is a natural part of being human. 2. Avoid exaggeration or concealment. Their sharing is honest and unaffected by the need to impress. They tell their stories to build understanding and connection. 3. Accept feedback. They are willing to listen to others' perspectives, even if it includes constructive criticism, to grow and improve. Insincere individual. 1. Focus only on the positive. They highlight achievements or strengths while avoiding mention of mistakes or challenges. 2. Exaggerate or conceal the truth. To create a favorable impression, they may embellish accomplishments or hide unfavorable truth. 3. React negatively to feedback. They may become defensive or dismissive of differing opinions instead of listening and learning. Impact of sharing personal information. For the sharer. 1. Building trust. Openness and authenticity help establish trust, especially in personal and professional relationships. 2. Personal growth. Acknowledging both strengths and weaknesses allows for self-reflection and improvement. 3. Reducing ego-driven pressure. Being honest reduces the stress of maintaining a perfect image. For the listener. 1. Fostering closeness. Listeners feel respected and empathize when the sharer is candid about their experiences. 2. Inspiring motivation. Stories that balance success and failure often inspire others, offering lessons and hope. How to share personal information authentically. 1. Be honest with yourself. Begin by accepting both the positive and negative aspects of yourself. This self-awareness fosters confidence in sharing. 2. Balance between good and bad. When telling stories, don't just focus on accomplishments. Acknowledge challenges, mistakes, and the lessons you've learned. 3. Choose the right context. Personal sharing should suit the situation and audience. Avoid forcing irrelevant or unnecessary detail. 4. Listen to feedback. After sharing, remain open to feedback. This demonstrates respect and allows you to see your experiences from different perspectives. 5. Avoid exaggeration or downplaying. Tell your story truthfully without embellishment or suppression of details. Buddhism teaches that sharing personal information is not only a way to connect, but also a means to spread compassion and wisdom. By sharing both the good and the bad, we don't just convey experiences, but also encourage others to embrace their authentic selves. A Buddhist tale recounts the story of a young monk who openly admitted his mistakes during a teaching session. His humility and honesty not only earned him the respect of his peers, but also inspired others to reflect on their own journeys with sincerity. How we share personal information reflects our character and level of sincerity. Authentic individuals embrace both their achievements and failures, understanding that every experience offers valuable lessons. Remember, sincerity lies not in polished words, but in the way we share our stories with honesty and humility, as the Buddha taught. Only when the heart is truthful can words truly touch another's soul. Live authentically, share your stories, and inspire genuine connections that enrich your life and those around you. 10. Listening to your inner voice. Intuition is a guide to recognizing jealousy. In life, there are moments when we feel uneasy or unsettled in a relationship, even though everything appears normal on the surface. This is when the inner voice, a profound form of intuition, is trying to warn us. From the perspectives of Buddhism and psychology, listening to your inner voice is not only a way to detect jealousy or insincerity, but also a means to achieve self-mastery and inner peace. What is the inner voice? The inner voice, or intuition, is the natural human ability to sense what is unspoken or unclear. Often described as a deep feeling within, it operates beyond logic, yet is profoundly reliable. Psychology suggests that intuition results from subconscious processing, where the brain gathers and analyzes subtle cues from the environment. Meanwhile, Buddhism views intuition as a form of mindfulness, enabling us to connect with our true nature and detect negative energies from others. Jealousy is a negative emotional state often disguised behind words and outward actions. However, the negative energy it creates can be sensed intuitively. When someone harbors jealousy toward you, no matter how much they try to hide it, you may pick up on subtle signals through your inner voice. Indicators of jealousy your intuition may recognize. 1. Unkind eyes. Their eyes may reveal envy, even if their faces smile. 2. Conflicting words. Insincere compliments or remarks that subtly undermine your achievements can signal jealousy. 3. Negative energy. You may feel tense or uneasy around envious people, even if their behavior seems outwardly polite. Buddhism teaches that the inner voice is not mystical but a natural ability of the mind when it reaches a state of mindfulness. The Buddha once said, "In stillness, truth will naturally reveal itself." By practicing mindfulness, maintaining a quiet mind, and observing without judgment, intuition sharpens. Distractions caused by conflicting thoughts fade, allowing us to perceive the true energy of others, including emotions like jealousy or deceit. How to listen to your inner voice. 1. Practice mindfulness. Spend time daily sitting in silence and focusing on your breath. This connects you to your inner self and enhances your ability to detect internal signals. 2. Pay attention to physical reaction. The body often reacts faster than the mind. If you feel discomfort, tension, or unease around someone, it may be a sign of negative energy. 3. Observe without judgment. When you sense something is wrong, note it without jumping to conclusions. Observe their behavior and words further to confirm your intuition. 4. Ask yourself questions. Pose questions such as, "Why do I feel this way?" or "What makes me uneasy?" Your inner voice often provides insightful answers. 5. Meditate regularly. Meditation calms the mind, creating a space for intuition to work effectively. It helps you notice details you might otherwise overlook. A story of intuition. Ho, a top-performing employee, often received praise from her colleague Nam, who appeared friendly. Yet, whenever Nam complimented her, Ho felt uneasy. By listening closely to her inner voice, Hoa realized that Nam's tone often carried a hint of sarcasm, and his eyes lacked genuine warmth. After observing him for some time, she discovered that Nam frequently spoke poorly of her to other colleagues, attempting to diminish her accomplishment. By trusting her intuition, Ho avoided placing her trust in an insincere person and focused on building relationships with more trustworthy colleagues. The impact of listening to your inner voice. For yourself. 1. Protecting positive energy. Recognizing negative energy allows you to steer clear or handle it gracefully. 2. Boosting confidence. Trusting your inner voice strengthens your self-awareness and decision-making ability. 3. Developing intuition. Over time, your intuition becomes sharper, enabling you to handle situations more effectively. 4. Relationship. 1. Building healthy connection. Recognizing sincerity or deceit helps you cultivate relationships based on trust and honesty. 2. Avoiding conflict. Detecting early signs of jealousy or discord allows you to address issues before they escalate. Buddhist practices to enhance intuition. 1. Daily mindfulness practice. Mindfulness enables you to pick up on subtle cues from your surroundings and inner self. 2. Maintaining calmness. A peaceful mind is essential for intuition to function effectively. Avoid letting negative emotions cloud your judgment. 3. Observation and learning. Observe others' actions, words, and energy without rushing to judgment. 4. Meditation to clear the mind. Meditation clears distracting thoughts, creating space for intuition to guide you. Listening to your inner voice is a valuable skill for recognizing jealousy and negative energy in others. By developing intuition, you can protect yourself while fostering genuine and healthy relationships. As the Buddha once said, "In silence, you will hear what noise cannot reveal." Take time each day to connect with your inner voice, treating it as a trusted companion on your journey of growth and self-discovery. Life is complex, filled with subtle nuances of human behavior, but understanding and observing attentively are keys to distinguishing sincerity from deceit. Actions, glances, and even fleeting words hold valuable clues if you are mindful enough to notice. Observing behavior. Living authentically and maintaining compassion not only safeguard you from toxic relationships, but also awaken inner strength to cultivate trustworthy and fulfilling connection. Sincerity is the mirror of the soul. Observe actions, feel energy, and uphold compassion to become a beacon of light in challenging relationship. Live fully, mindfully, and authentically, for it is the only path to true peace and happiness.